So hello, today we would like to go into the aspect of equation that has to do with fraction. So this is called equations with fraction. For instance, if we have an example given like this is a linear equation having fractions in it. And how do we resolve such things, such equations? So the first thing we'll do is to find the LCM of all the denominators. So that's the first thing we'll do, find the LCM of all the denominators. Meanwhile, before we do that, if we have a mixed fraction in it like we have here, we need to take that mixed fraction from the mixed fraction to improper fraction, which is by multiplying these two by this whole number. That is, the denominator will multiply the whole number and the result will be added to the numerator. That is 2 times 1, 2 plus 1, 3. So that becomes 3 all over 2. That is all over the denominator. So that's how we convert the mixed fraction to improper fraction. Now the next thing we will do from here is to now multiply to find the LCM, right? So we need to find the LCM of all the denominators. First, let us change this to fraction on the next line. So x all over 3 plus 3 all over 2 equals to 3x all over 4. So this is the first thing we will do. Now the next thing we want to do is to find the LCM of 3, 2, and 4. Like we have done before, if you want to look for the LCM of 3, 2, and 4, we just need to use the LCM, which is we use 2, which is the smallest even number. That we use it to start the cutting. So we say 2 in 3 will be 3, 2 in 2 that's 1, 2 in 4 that's 2, and 2 can still go. 2 in 3 3, 2 in 2 that's 1. So this one is done. Then the last one is 3 in 3 1. So the final answer is now going to be 2 times 2 times 3, and that's 12. So 12 is the LCM. So the LCM will now be used. Okay, the LCM will be used to multiply every term in the expression. So we don't need to rule, we don't need to do this ruling. So what we just need to do is to use that 12 to multiply each of the term in the equation. So we just say 12 times x over 3 plus 12 times 3 all over 2 equals to 12 times 3x all over 4. So we use it unlike when it is an expression, an expression does not have the equality sign. That's the difference between an expression and an equation. For an expression, we can just rule a line under and then use the LCM to add everything together. But in the case of equation, we don't need to do that. We just need to use that LCM to multiply each term in the equation. So this is now going to cut this, and this will be 4. 2 will cut 12, and that will be 6. Then 4 will cut 12, and that will be 3. So once this one is done, we will now use this to multiply. Then 4 times x, so that will be 4x. Now 6 times 3, so that will be 18. And 3 times 3x, so that will be 9x. So this is how we reduce the fraction, or we eliminate the fraction in the equation. So this way the equation is no longer in the fractional form. So this is how we eliminate the fraction. So it is by using the LCM to multiply each of the term in the equation. So it has now been reduced to the normal equation that we usually know. And the next thing we want to do from here is to collect the like terms. So which ones are the like terms? The like terms are this and this. They are like terms because each of them has s in it. And meanwhile, what we understand by a linear equation is that is an expression or an equation that contains x, which is raised to power 1. X is usually raised to power 1, and it is the only variable in the equation. So there is no other variable. So it's the only variable there is that x. So it's a linear equation. Now here, when we can decide to take this one to the other side of the equation, or we bring this to the other side. So we can decide to do any of the two. So let's say we are bringing this one to the other side of this equation. So we are left with 18 here, and then 9x will now be here, then 4. By the time it crosses the equality sign, its sign will change from positive to negative, minus 4x, right? So 18 will now be equal to 5x. 5, that's 9x minus 4x is equals to 5x. So here, to remove this 5, because solving an equation means we want the coefficient to be 1 and we want the power to be 1. So that's how we solve equation. That's what we mean by solving this equation. That's how we find x. So now to solve this, we need to divide both sides by 5. So that will be divided by 5, and whatever we do on the right hand side, we do to the left hand side. So this is going to cause this. So here now, 18 all over 5. We can convert this to a mixed fraction if we like. 5 in 18, that will be 3. Remember, 3 all over 5. So that's the value of x. So this is how we determine this. Okay, so given this example, and we are asked to find x. So in this expression, we see that it's a fractional equation because it has numerator and denominator. So what we do to this is to do what? Find the LCM of the denominator. So, and what is the LCM of 3, 2, and 4? I think we found that earlier to be what? To be 12, just as we did for the last example. So, and if that is 12, then we use the 12 to multiply each of the term in the equation. So this is going to be 12 multiplying 4x minus 1 all over 3 minus, now 12 will multiply 3x minus 1 all over 2, and 12 will multiply 6 minus 2x, right, all over 4. So that's what we do to clear the fraction. So to clear the fraction, we multiply by the LCM. So the next thing we do is to cut 3 here 1, 3 here 4, and 3 here 1, 3 here 6, and 2 here 1, 2 here 6, then 4 here 1, 4 here 3. So having done that, then this 4 is now going to multiply this. Now what is here? Whenever we have a fraction and what is at the top or at the bottom of the fraction is more than one term, then that expression is inside a bracket. And if any external element is to multiply it, then that external element will first break open the brackets. So what we'll do here is to write it down first. 4 into 4x minus 1, like this. Then minus 6 into 3x minus 1 equals to 3 into 6 minus 2x. So this is what we'll have. So this becomes an equation with brackets. And when we have an equation with brackets, what do? We break open the bracket first. So 4 times 4, that will be 16. x minus 4 times 1, 4. Then minus 6 times 3, that will be minus 18 x. Then minus 6 times minus 1, that's plus 6. Then 3 times 6, that will be 18 minus 3 times 2, that will be 6x. So now that we have broken up the brackets, the next thing we want to do is to collect the like terms. So bring those terms that are having x attached to them, bring them to one side of the equation, while those terms that are constants, we take them to the other side of the equation. So this becomes 16x minus 18x, then plus 6x, right? So this becomes 18 minus 4, that's plus 4 because it's minus 4 while it is on this left hand side. By the time it crosses the equality sign, it becomes plus 4. And this is plus 6. By the time it crosses the equality sign, it becomes minus 6. So I believe you're on the same page with that. Now the next thing we want to do is to add them together. Minus 16 minus 18, that's minus 2. And minus 2 plus 4 plus 6, that's plus 4. So that's 4x. And here 18, of course, minus 6, that will be 12, and 12 plus 4, that's 16, right? 16. Okay, so at this point we divide both sides by 4. So this is gonna cut this, and this is gonna cut this. 4 here 1, 4 here 4. So this point x is equal to 4. So this is how we solve this problem. So I believe this is understood. So the fact is, whenever we have a fraction in an expression, what do? We need to clear the fraction by using the LCM to multiply each term in the expression. That is the major thing we need to take away from this. So by the time we clear the fraction, whatever is now left, if a bracket is left, we clear the bracket as well. Then we collect the like terms, then divide both sides by the coefficient of the variable. So this is how we go about that. Okay, so looking at this example, we are asked to find x. So how do we find x here in this expression? Now we'll see that in the case of this one, we have one term on the left hand side and one term on the right hand side, and they are both fractions. Whenever we have expressions like this, the best way to solve this problem is to do what we call cross multiplication. Cross multiplication, that is, we use this to multiply this, and we use this to multiply this. That's what we call cross multiplication. So, and that is now going to become 3 times the x plus 4, which is the bracket. So it's going to be 3 into x plus 4, and it will be equal to 5 into x plus 2. So this is what we call cross multiplication. So this is how we clear the fraction in this one. So we usually do cross multiplication when we are sure that we have one term on the left hand side and one term on the right hand side. That is, we can now do the cross multiplication. So if it has more than one term, then we cannot do the cross multiplication. We have to resolve using the LCM. Okay, now the next thing we want to do here is to now open the brackets. So this is going to be 3x plus 3 times 4, that's 12. And this is going to be 5x plus 5 times 2, that will be 10, right? So we will now collect the like terms. So what are the like terms? So we can bring this one to the other side of this equation, bring this 10 to this side of the equation. So this is now going to be 5x minus 3x then 12, which is here. Then when the 10 comes to this side, it becomes minus 10. So 12 minus 10, that will be 2. And 5 minus 3, that will be 2x. So at this point, we just need to divide both sides by 2, 2, 2. This will cut this. This is going to cut this. And we are going to be left with 1 here. And x will be equal to 1. So x is equals to 1 here. So this is how we find the x. Okay, so we'll leave it here. So I would like you guys to solve this problem and give us the answer in the comment section. So we're going to leave it here today until tomorrow. So thank you. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and also click the notification bell so that when we drop more videos you will be notified. So I want you guys to solve this and give us the answer in the comment section.